James Haining here, and I wanted to take a few moments to tell you about the 5 favorite states of mine that I've ever visited. The first one on this list, of course, is the state of Arkansas. Arkansas gets a lot of bad press, but it's a great state to visit. And if you've ever been, you know that some of the most beautiful scenery you've ever been to is the Ozark Hills with the sun setting on them or the sun rising on them, especially in the fall when the leaves are changing. I'd also recommend that you visit South Arkansas where they have lots of pine trees growing. It's a beautiful place to visit. I've only been in the springtime. It gets very hot out there. I really would like to go visit Arkansas more, but I don't get the chance very often. One of my very good friends is a guy named Tom Hartley. He lives in Arkansas, and one day he gave me a pocket knife and he told me that I should carry it with me always and think of him when I put it in my pocket. And so I do. I think of Tom and I think of Arkansas every time I see that pocket knife. Moving along almost seemingly in alphabetical order, but it's not. I want to tell you about the state of Arizona. I go to Arizona every year in the wintertime, and it's a great place to go where it's warm and sunny. It's also very dry, however, and you've got to expect to drink about half again as much water as you're used to drinking in a day. But nevertheless, I recommend that you should go visit. It's known for its wild, lonely country, and these days it's really popular to be an introvert. And if you're an introvert, I recommend you also go to Arizona because there are lots of places where it's just wild and lonely, and it's just you and God. I often say that God put Arizona on the map to remind us that there's some places that are His alone we just can't tame no matter how much we try. And they've tried down there in Arizona, but there's still a lot of wild, lonely country out there. One of my favorite places to visit in Arizona is Yuma, Arizona. And one year I was playing in Yuma and I got the chance to play backup guitar for Ronnie Stoneman, who you may remember as the ironing board lady on Hee Haw. She was a great lady and we had a lot of fun. And it's one of my most memorable experiences playing in Arizona. Speaking of Ronnie Stoneman was from the great state of Virginia. And speaking of Virginia, that's another state I love to go to. That's my musical legacy. The first guy that ever taught me how to play the guitar and sing was a guy named Bob Johnson, and he was from Virginia, along with other great singers like Ronnie Stoneman, Mac Wiseman, and James King, the bluegrass storyteller. I often sing songs in the style of those musical greats. I like to remember them as I sing, and that's why I like going to Virginia. Moving on from Virginia, the next state I'd like to visit is all the way across the country in California. Yes, I know California is crowded and busy, but that's what I love about it. Learning to drive in California is just like a game of Tetris. There's a system to it, and you have to watch the experts. You have to watch the people that know how to do it, and you have to learn what they're doing, and then you have to do it. It's a game. It really is. I love the friendly people and the California sunshine. My guitar is also from California, in case you didn't know. It's a Taylor guitar made in El Cajon, California, and I actually wouldn't have that guitar if I hadn't visited their factory in El Cajon. That we went on a tour, and afterwards they had a bunch of guitars, and I played one that was just like the guitar that I had always envisioned in my mind, and I asked them to make one for me, and they did. I highly recommend that you try playing a Taylor guitar sometime. It'll change your life. Go take a tour of the Taylor factory. And also, I recommend that you should visit California. Meet some of the people. I know that you'll never regret it. The fifth and final state that I would like to talk to you about is Colorado. Some of you may not know this, but I was born in Colorado, along with all of my sisters. I love visiting there again. It's just like going home. I love the mountains. The mountains are so beautiful, and they have a lot of fun and challenging passes to drive through. And it's fun to get out there in the wild and see God's creation. Some of my best friends live in Colorado, and I always love going back to visit them. And also, I just want to give a shout out to the great musical community that Denver has. There's a lot of bluegrassers if you know where to look. I would encourage you to find a jam session, find those bluegrassers and meet them and hang out with them. It's a great place to hang out if you're a musician. Alright, that's my 5 favorite states that I've been to. Make sure and leave a comment below to tell me what's your favorite state that you've been to, or if you've been to one of these and what you liked about them. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and make sure and subscribe to our channel so you'll be sure to see new videos every time we post. Remember, love music, love people more.